Yes.
Hjärtligt välkomna till för oss på sedermera första lunchpresentation för denna säsong. Idag så är detta ett samarrangemang oss emellan, det vill säga sedermera fondkommission och Nordnet. Och som vanligt, oavsett hur ni har anmält er, så är ni hjärtligt välkomna ändå. Vi har att se fram emot en presentation utav ett bolag som heter Nustay. Och ni har kunnat läsa om det i invitationen. Och det finns också en del material som är utlagt här på stolarna, så att ni kan ta det med er hem och läsa. Och är det så att man vill inte ta med sig materialet, men man vill ändå veta mer, så går det att via vår hemsida sedermera, via Bolagets eller via Nordnets hemsida ta del av erbjudandet. Vi på sedermera tycker att det här är ett spännande bolag, en spännande IPO utav ett antal olika anledningar. Dels så tycker vi att affärsmodellen är spännande. De har en möjlighet att ta betalt när bokning görs, vilket innebär att man skaffar sig ett bra kassaflöde. Vi tycker att erfarenheten som management har med sig in och de projekt de har varit med och drivit tidigare har visat sig framgångsrika och kan nu appliceras på Nustay. Vi tycker att det finns en spännande styrelse i bolaget som kan tillföra en hel del och som kan coacha och vara bollplank för management. Och sist men inte minst så tycker vi att det är spännande med en frisk fläkt som vill röra runt i en bransch där det redan finns aktörer. Och det gör ju att man behöver inte introducera sig själv och få folk att förstå vad man ska göra, utan det är att få folk att förstå att det här görs på ett bättre och mer effektivt sätt än vad konkurrenterna gör. Men det här kommer ni att få höra mer av herrarna som är här på scen. Det är Mattias, det är Kasper och det är Simon. Och jag tycker att vi lämnar ord och bild till dessa tre herrar. Hjärtligt välkomna och varsågoda.
Thank you very much. All right, so I will start out. My name is Mattias Lunde Nielsen. I'm the CEO and founder of Nustay. I hope it's okay. I will do the presentation in English. My Swedish is not good, and I'm thinking that in Danish we will lose some words here and there. Just very briefly about myself. Since I started out working when I was 17, I have been building online companies. I actually never had a normal job, so to say. I have always been building something online. And academically, I hold a CBL, Certificate of Business and Leadership, from the Henley MBA study in Copenhagen, where I was the youngest ever to be accepted in Scandinavia, to date as well. I founded Nustay in September 2014. Up until then, I was working mainly with the fashion industry because of my young age. But I will tell you that the first company I did was actually tech as well, where we took clothing that was offline in the physical shops, integrated it online in the system, sold it there, and sent out the orders to the shops. It was bought 1 year after the launch, and then I moved on in my journey. So today, for this presentation about Nustay, I will start out with a short movie. It's 2.5 minutes long, and it will tell you about the company and show you a bit of our office in Copenhagen and in Kiev. It gives a good setting, so I hope it's okay. My name is Mathias Lunde Nielsen, and I'm the CEO and founder of Nustay. Nustay is an online hotel booking platform with a disruptive new concept never seen before. It's a hybrid between different business models, and it allows us to sell 1.5 million hotels at the best possible prices. And by that I mean that we are able to have the best price on 80% of all our hotels. Nustay is a running business with more than 60 full-time employees in Copenhagen and Kiev, where 2/3 of them are working with software development. Recently, Nustay was approved as the only SMB in the world to join Google's beta product, Google Hotel Ads. This is Google's top converting advertisement product for online hotel booking. It's a major achievement for a startup, since Google only picks the very best companies to participate in its betas. Today, online consumers are experiencing 3 major problems when booking hotels online. The first one is that it's very difficult finding the lowest prices. And this is because a lot of the websites available today are only offering discounts when you combine different products like flights and hotels. The second one is that it is almost impossible to understand the final price. And that's because the websites are not showing you all the taxes and fees. And the third is that it is extremely difficult to find the right hotel because the websites are mainly pushing the hotels that they're earning the most commission on. We are solving these 3 problems by first of all integrating both B2C and B2B hotel suppliers into one solution. This allows us to always have the most competitive prices, no matter where it's coming from. The second one is that we are always showing only the prices including taxes and fees. And that is all the taxes and fees that we are allowed to include. And the third one is that our search functionality is a smart, data-driven AI search that will help you find the very best hotels at the best possible prices. We have spent the last 4.5 years developing our technology, and our platform has been live for 1 year now. Sales are going up rapidly, and all our key KPIs are indicating that we need to go large scale now. This is why we want to IPO. The funding from our IPO will mainly go towards growing the revenue. Our ambitions with Nustay are huge, and we aim at achieving these with the best possible performance-driven online marketing campaigns globally, with the purpose of growing the business as fast as possible. All right, so what is Nustay? Nustay is an OTA, an online travel agent. And just to clarify what exactly that means, it means that we are in the same category like Booking.com and Hotels.com. We are doing the booking on behalf of the users on our platform. We get the payment and we own the customers. Other websites in online hotel booking are sites like Trivago, Kayak, Momondo is in hotels as well now, and they are meta search, which is price comparison. So they will show you where to book the cheapest room on the specific hotel and then forward you to one of the OTAs. Nustay, Hotels.com, Booking.com, Agoda. We have the vision of becoming the most disruptive, innovative online hotel booking platform in the world. And this is all driven by our concept. The platform has been under development since 2014, basically since we started the company. We have a very rare hybrid business model, which allows us to combine B2B offline hotel inventory, hotel prices, together with the B2C world, like the normal prices you would find on Hotels.com and those websites. This is a business model which we have not seen before online. The investment highlights, I would like to go through them briefly. It's a Danish company which are entering a very, very large market. Simon will dive into exactly how big the market is later on in the presentation. But our booking concept today, our platform, has more than 1.5 million hotels in its database. This is more hotels than you will find on Expedia. We have the ability, because of our hybrid business model, to actually get the specialized B2B prices, which are prices you would normally find on deal sites, for example, like Secret Escapes. And because of this, in all tests we have made, where there will be more, how can I say, I will deep dive into this later in the presentation, but we are the cheapest in 80% of all of the searches we have done. And when we are cheaper, we are average 19.3% cheaper. And this is when comparing to locked-in prices from Booking.com and Hotels.com. I just want to emphasize this here a bit, because Booking.com is, the market cap today is almost $90 billion. All right? But we're cheaper in 80% of all the tests that have been done. It's pretty significant. Because of the concept we have, because of the smart search we're doing, we have the ability to deliver highly personalized offers, meaning we are showing relevant hotels, hotels that are relevant for the search you're doing. I will also explain a lot more about that. We have a very strong and diversified board and management, which you will get to know. The business model we have is enabling a very strong cash flow. It is so that we receive the payment from our customers at the time of booking on the website immediately. Because we give discounts, this is not an issue for our customers. But we don't pay the hotels or our hotel suppliers before 30 days after checkout. So we're sitting on the entire cash until then. The platform is live globally. In January alone, last month, we had more than 8,600 nights booked on Nustay. And this is without any significant funding for marketing. And it's growing very fast, I can tell you right now. We have extremely attractive agreements in place for the marketing. One of them is Google Hotel Ads, which I was talking about in the movie. This should be said that we are approved to be in the beta of Google Hotel Ads. And this is Google's biggest advertisement product for online hotel booking. It's only few companies in the world that has been approved to be part of this beta. And we're there together with Expedia, Hotels.com, and Booking.com. We're the only SMB in the world that got this approval. Nustays' revenue is expected to increase significantly month on month. We are actually seeing double-digit growth, and we will continue to see this month on month moving forward. So how did it all start? Just briefly tell you the story of Nustay and the meaning behind the name. So the idea to Nustay came after I was spending a lot of time finding out what hotel to book on a vacation in Thailand. And considering that I'm a digital native, which means I was born into the digital age and had a computer from almost when I could walk, I would consider myself pretty good at doing research. And I thought I found a very nice hotel, and I spent a lot of money on that hotel, and went there, and I was disappointed. It was not what I thought it was going to be. It was a nice hotel, but it was not suited what I wanted. I later found out that the website I was booking on was recommending this hotel so strongly because they were getting a very high commission on the hotel. I didn't know that the ranking practices on the big websites today are controlled by bidding. You can actually go in as a hotel and say, I want to give 30% commission, and then you get on page 1, and they will recommend the hotel. So after that, I was thinking a lot about the situation, and I was coming to the conclusion that if I made this mistake, there must be so many people in the world that are booking the wrong hotels and spending their money they have saved for their vacations on hotels they don't really enjoy. This started the idea of creating a website which was actually honest, which would recommend the hotels, show in the search the relevant hotels for the users that are searching. And at the same time, of course, get a good price. That is important. So yeah, the name Nustay. Our main focus moving forward, obviously it's the biggest market for hotel booking, is the US. In the US, the word new is a slang for new. So an American speaker would see the name as a new stay. Stay indicates that there is something with a stay, a hotel booking perhaps, and it was available on .com. This is actually a quite difficult challenge to find a name that makes sense, short, which is not already used somewhere else. And it's a name we can brand. It's not something that exists already, like, for example, hotels.com. It's a very generic name. Nustay can be branded. That's the story behind the name. Nustay as of today. So, as I said before, the website is globally launched. We have more than 1.5 million hotels. We have proven the ability to be able to handle high performance, a lot of traffic, and a lot of bookings at the same time, and we are growing every single day. Like I said, the platform in January had just a little over 8,600 hotel nights booked. And if you analyze this, it would mean that our handle revenue would be 68 million Danish kroner, and our net revenue would be 7 million Danish kroner. You will hear a lot more about these numbers later on when Simon, our CFO, takes the stage. But the net revenue is equal to our commission minus credit card fees, cancellation, fraud, all of these extra stuff that might be. So it's our net, you can say. So how are we able to do this? Like I said in the video, there are 3 major challenges for the consumers today. Like when normal people want to book a hotel online, it's very difficult to find the best price. Even though there's a lot of price comparison websites, it is not the real prices. And this is because it's difficult to understand if the price is final, meaning that is the price including all taxes and fees. If you book on booking.com today and you book in Dubai, you will pay 25% more when you arrive at the hotel. That's a lot of money. On hotels.com you want, but then they have other hotels where you need to. So it's very difficult to understand if all the taxes and fees are included. The third one is this situation with the ranking practices. That it's actually possible as a hotelier to push your hotel on page 1 as a sponsored post, basically, without the websites actually writing it sponsored. So it's unfair ranking practices. It's not something that benefits the users. We're solving these 3 major challenges by the first, how to find the best price. We're making sure that we're combining all the prices there is. On MetaSearch, you will not find the B2B prices. On Trivago, they don't have access to B2B prices. They have access to the prices from Booking.com and Expedia and those kind of websites. We're taking the offline B2B prices that are normally meant for travel agencies like Thomas Cook, or for B2B agencies like Egencia or Amex Centurion Concierge Service, and we're making these, how can I say, mapping them together with the B2C inventory and making them available to normal consumers live. The second one is that we're always showing the price, including all taxes and fees that we're allowed to include. And that is everything we're allowed legally to include. There is situations where we cannot do it. Las Vegas, they have resort fees. We can't include those, but it's very rare that this happens. When it happens, we will show it on the website, so there's no confusion. And the third, which is extremely important, is the way we handle the search. That we use a lot of data. We have a smart search to be able to show relevant search results. For a search without logging in, we will look at price history. Was the hotel cheap today compared to 5 days ago, 1 year ago? What does it look like? We will take reviews, but not just from one source. We're taking it from many sources. We're looking at the pattern on the behavior of the booking, and so on and so on. If you log in, you can do personal preferences, and the matching, so to speak, the relevance will be higher. If we compare Nustay to other booking concepts, this helps understand exactly where we are. We can start out with Nustay, a hybrid OTA. We have B2B hotel suppliers and B2C hotel integrations. That means that we integrated to websites like Expedia, the mother company of hotels.com, and Priceline, or Booking Holdings, as they're called today, the company of Booking.com. We also integrated to websites like Agoda, if you know them, very, very big as well. That they give us B2C supply, which is an important supply because it's high quality data we get, which is, I'll get back to that, but that's very important for conversion. Booking.com, hotels.com is B2C concepts. It's OTAs. That means they have a contract directly with the hotel. The hotel is giving them the price, and then they get a commission, which is determined by the contract when they do a booking. Then you have Secret Escapes, which is a travel club. It's like Groupon. It's a deal site. They literally call the hotels and ask them if they can get any rooms to sell. That obviously means it's not super scalable. They don't have a lot of hotels. They don't have a lot of availability. And then there's websites like Kayak, it's meta search, it's price comparison. Like Kelku, Price Runner, if you want to buy some electronics, it's very easy to find a place where to get it cheapest if you go on Price Runner. Same thing with hotel rooms or flights, for that matter. Momondo, flight comparison, we all know it. And then we have Thomas Cook, which is a tour provider. Tour providers are getting B2B prices. These B2B hotel suppliers have existed for 20, 30 years. And their whole business was to buy up hotel rooms in bulk and sell them to B2B companies. But the B2B market is dying. The trend is that everything is moving online, and it's growing very fast. Simon will explain about that in the market. So the B2B suppliers are looking for possibilities to grow their business, or at least maintain it. But there's not really a lot of possibilities, because no one can really handle their supply online, because of very poor data quality. Right? This is where Nustay comes in, because we're hybrid. We have been able to make a tech solution that can take their inventory and merge it together with the good data from the B2C channels and display it to end consumers, like all of us. So, because of the hybrid concept we have been able to get good prices, which is extremely important if you want to compete with a giant like Booking.com. So what we did is we went to Statista and found the 20 most visited destinations in the world. Not Europe, but the whole world. We took the 1,000 most booked hotels. And then we checked our prices on several dates together with Booking.com and Hotels.com after logging in. So this is their secret prices, or genius prices, as it's called on Booking.com. And what we found was that Nustay was cheaper in 81.8% of all cases, and on average, we were 19.3% cheaper after logging in. When we were not, in 5.1% of the cases, we had the same price, because we do need to keep the same price on some hotels. Some markets, there is something in the hotel industry called rate parity we have to respect. We were 13.1% in the cases more expensive, but when we were more expensive, it was only an average 5%. So that can be explained many different things. It can be some currency conversions that were not that great, or it can be many things. Nevertheless, we're not the cheapest all the time, but we're working towards that. We, of course, took screenshots of all the tests. So there, they exist. So marketing partnerships. I will give the floor to Kasper, our CMO, who will explain about that.
Thanks a lot. Can you hear me? No, I think we need some volume on the microphone. Hello? Hello? No, it's on. Yes. Hello? Hello, testing. Testing. Yes, it's here. Awesome. Thanks. So, yes, thanks for the introduction. My name is Kasper Hove. I started my digital career at Google as a lead strategist in 2010. After spending 2 years with Google, learning digital marketing from the very core itself, I have spent a little more than 6 years with Momondo, which you should know pretty well in Sweden too. I was the first in our digital marketing team to start it up, and actually started up a digital marketing team that is more than 100 people today. Great journey with Momondo, but I was ready to try to start something up from scratch again. So now I'm in Nustay as the CMO, where I've been for the last year, and now I'm part of this really exciting journey. So a little more detail about these rare partnerships, because of course it sounds awesome to be among the very few companies that are approved to advertise with Google Hotel Ads. But what does it mean to advertise with Google Hotel Ads? I've made a short video that explains, show you how Google Hotel Ads works. So if you search for any hotel online, like Hotel Clarion in Copenhagen Airport, Google will show you a list of all of the hotels with the prices for the date that you are interested in. What it then does is that it allows you to choose the hotel that is cheapest. Here we see it's Nustay, which it happens to be quite often. A click here will bring you directly to our hotel page, which will show you the prices. From here, you're only one click away from booking. So hence, you can imagine that the whole journey from actually searching on Google to booking your hotel online is all of a sudden a whole lot shorter. And why is this so important when we do marketing at Nustay? Well, if you look at traditional online travel agencies, their best channel, or the channel they have that is converting the very best, is always, without comparison, search engine marketing. So that is when you search for instance, hotels in Bangkok, and you go to search for hotels on Nustay or on Momondo. What hotel ads does is it brings you one step further down the purchasing process. So where you on normal search will search, for instance, for hotels in Bangkok, you will go to a page and make a search for hotels in Bangkok. You'll have to choose from thousands of hotels and spend a lot of time on finding the hotel that you want to book, to then click on to the hotel, find out, is this the right one, to making a booking. This is actually a process that on average takes 8 hours from the beginning of a research to finding your hotel to actually booking it. What Google Hotel Ads allow us to do is only to purchase the user when he's so far down the purchasing process that most likely he has already purchased his airline ticket. He knows what date he's going to be traveling on. He knows that he needs a hotel. He might even know the hotel that he's staying in. So when he's making the search on Google, he is literally only 2 clicks away from booking it via Nustay. So this, of course, makes it a very high converting marketing engine for Nustay. And then add on top of that, like Matthias just said, Nustay is the first SMB to be included on Google Hotel Ads in the world, in the beta. We are among maybe between 10 to 20 advertisers today that are active on this product. That allows us to buy the traffic at a very, very cheap cost per click. So it's very cheap for us to buy you as a customer. If you compare it to search, you might have 60 competitors on each search on Google, which makes the search price much higher, up to $4 for a click actually. On Google Hotel Ads, it is about 20% of that price, maybe even less in some auctions, which of course mean that you get a very high conversion combined with a very low acquisition price, so hence a very good return on your investment naturally. Then on top of this, we have not only been approved for the Google beta, we have been approved for Hotel Ads beta on Bing, Yandex, and Yahoo as well. And well, what does this mean? Bing owns 30% of the search market in the United States. 30%, that's huge. They have a market share of 10% globally as well, so that is a big growth potential too. We've been approved for the alpha, it's even before the beta, on Yandex Hotel Ads, which is the biggest search engine in Russia, which means that if we think it's cheap to advertise on Google, it's going to be much cheaper to advertise on Bing and Yandex because we enter at a much more early stage where we are actually among the first 10 advertisers. Lastly, we've been accepted to Yahoo, which you might think belong in the 90s, but actually Yahoo is one of the biggest search engines in Japan, and hence a really important player if you want to grow in Japan. And as well, they have a pretty big presence globally. Well, only a couple of percent, but with millions and millions of impressions every single day, that is very relevant too. So, beside, of course, investing in these very high converting marketing channels, we do have, as Matthias spoke about as well, something called meta search. We can advertise on meta search engines such as Kayak, Trivago, Momondo, in the same way as we do it on Google Hotel Ads. This will allow us to give a price to these guys, to allow the user to click on to Nustay and make the purchase in the same way. The difference here is naturally that all of these meta search engines are pretty well established. They have been here for quite a while, but that doesn't mean that it has to be expensive for Nustay to be on it, because all of these meta search engines, they have one thing in common, and that is that they need to work with the online travel agents that has the best price, and that is Nustay. So I know from my experience with Momondo that this gives us a big competitive edge in regards to the fact that they want to work with us. when I tried to contact these guys just a year ago, they didn't want to talk to us because nobody knew about us. Now we're active on Google Hotel Ads, and all of these meta search engines, they're starting to contact us now because they want us online. And that means that we will be able to negotiate some really good prices with these meta search engines compared to what our competitors can do. And finally, in regards to advertising on Google Search in general on AdWords, our potential is really big as well. During my time at Momondo, we managed to grow the business consecutively with more than 100% year on year by just investing in Google Search. Now I just showed you how much better the conversion is in hotel ads compared to search. So of course, search is not going to be our premium focus from the beginning, but it's going to remain a growth potential that we're going to start to utilize whenever it makes sense in regard to return on investment. I'm guessing it won't make a lot of sense to invest heavy in search for the first couple of years, but when we get there, well, we managed to grow Momondo by more than 100% every single year, so we can do the same with Nustay even then. So marketing channels is not something that we're going to be missing out on for the next couple of years for sure. I give over the word to Simon.
Thank you. So my name is Simon Leilo Larsen. I'm the CFO of Nustay. Before joining Nustay, I have a background with 14 years at EY, Ernst & Young. I don't know what brand they use here, but after that, I joined the jewelry company Pandora. Worked there together with their listing and the IPO process there. Ended up as VP of Finance situated in Hong Kong. After coming back, I've been working with startups and joined Nustay a year ago. To 6.6 million. So back to Kasper.
Thanks. And just to explain you guys what this means in marketing numbers, what we have realized so far is that we can easily invest 100 Danish kroner and turn that into 500 kroner of handled revenue. From this, we can then derive a net revenue, so that's commission minus credit card fees and so on, of 50 kroner. Which of course is not a model that we can keep running for a long time, because we have to give this 50 kroner to keep our fixed costs running. So we need an additional 100 kroner of additional capital. What we have what we have started to experience now in February for a few days is that we can actually invest 100 kroner in marketing and turn that into 700 kroner of handled revenue. And that is from starting the optimization of our activities on Google Hotel Ads. This basically means that we can free 90 kroner of net revenue, where we can reinvest 50 kroner in marketing and actually keep some of the money for our fixed cost as well. What you see differently here is that we actually can reinvest 25 kroner of the free funds from the cash flow we get from getting a booking today that's paid today, but that we don't have to pay the supplier before the customer checks out. So that gives us actually 75 kroner to reinvest in marketing, but we still need the additional capital to keep the marketing engine running, to invest 100 kroner to make 700 again. But that is basically the reason why we're out looking for money right now. What we can turn this into pretty easily actually is we can invest 100 kroner in marketing and make that 900 kroner. From 900 we can then tweak the commission a bit to get a net revenue of 115. In this scenario we would be able to reinvest 100 kroner in marketing again and give the last 15 to fixed costs. And of course, the bigger the volume we get, it makes sense to give a lower percentage of that to keep the fixed costs running. On top of that, we can reinvest 150 kroner of the free funds, and all of a sudden we have a scalable marketing machine where we can invest 100 and get 250 back for growing our marketing investments. And this is where we don't need any additional capital to manage our growth. And now you might wonder, well, it seems very, very ambitious to move from investing 100 kroner to making 500 to actually making 900 kroner in handled revenue. But actually, it's not really. So basically, we just started scratching the surface of Google Hotel Ads. We have been live on this platform for only 3 months. At Momondo, I advertised at Google for 6 years. That gave us a lot of learning, and we're learning very, very fast investing in Google Hotel Ads right now. And some of the factors that we're tweaking on right now to make this happen is we launch more hotels on Google Hotel Ads. Like Matthias said, we have 1.5 million hotels that we can advertise. We don't advertise nearly 10% of that right now. We can as well start investing differently in hotels. So some hotels give us a really good commission. Other hotels don't give quite as good a commission. The more data we get on this, the better we get at reaching, or the closer we get to reaching this number. Additionally, we can work on how we set our discounts as well. So the better discounts that we set, the more volume we get. And like this, there's a lot of other factors that we can tweak on to make this happen. In regards to increasing our net revenue, well, the main driver here is, of course, commission. The more traffic we drive in marketing, the easier it becomes for our sales to improve our partnerships. So basically to get a better commission from our current partnerships and to add new partnerships as well. Furthermore, we can as well become better at our investment in general, which will of course give us a bigger commission too. So from an overall standpoint, we can make this happen at a publisher level. So this can be a scenario that we can experience on Google Hotel Ads. We could experience it on Yandex Hotel Ads too, and actually make a positive return of our investment at supplier level. But what you don't really think about here is the fact that every time we bring a user to our site, every time we bring 100 users to our site, X% of these users, they come back again as a direct user, or as what we call a branded user. That is a user who goes directly to Nustay, goes directly to his browser, types Nustay in his browser and visits Nustay, or who goes to Google and type Nustay as a search term into Google and then visit Nustay. And that's basically almost a free visit. On Google, that would cost us about 0.3 Swedish krona. And why is this so important? Well, it's super important for me because if I can get you to come in via Google Hotel Ads and make a booking, I know that you're going to see that we have a great brand, we have the best prices, great user experience, and it's very easy to find the hotel that you want. We see as well that we have an excellent customer service team who get really good reviews on Trustpilot. So with a good chance you would experience this too. What this means is that the next time that you're going to go out and look for a hotel, you don't need to go to Google Hotel Ads. We see that a big percentage of these users, they come directly back to Nustay again. And that's really good, not only because it's cheap traffic or free traffic, we don't have to pay for it, but it's really good because this is where the big booking values lies. In direct, we see that it's much higher booking values because people use direct more often for private travels as well. So it's usually longer durations of stays too. So this is of course a major booster to making this happen, that we get the booking values up and that our marketing investments, it increases rapidly. So I give over the word to Matthias.
Is it on? Yes, perfect. All right, so who are we? I would like to highlight just a few people besides who you met here today. I would like to highlight our chairman, Lone Fønsrøder, who is, how can I say, also in the board of companies like IKEA, and she's the vice chairman of Volvo Cars. She is involved in tech companies as well, and are very, very active in Nustay. Has been a very important part of making the organization ready for this IPO. One person which is not here today is our CTO, Michael, who's based in Kiev. I would like to highlight him as well, due to his experience, which is extremely important when it comes to a platform like Nustay online hotel booking. We are competing against companies like Booking.com that are worth $90 billion on the stock market today. That's big companies. If we want a platform that can compete head-to-head with products like they have, we need someone who has experience with especially performance load. Michael was the CTO in a company called BetLab, which is an Eastern European company. They were building online gaming, online casino websites. and very big ones as well. And you can imagine that in online casinos, there is a very high performance load. Online betting, these kind of industries are experiencing performance load that we don't really see in any Scandinavian websites. But besides that, they also experience a lot of hacking attempts. And considering that cybercriminality is very rising these days, it is something we have taken very seriously from day one, because we're managing large amount of cash all the time. We're running 24/7. We are operating with all parts of the world. Right now, half of our revenue is coming from the US. Another big market is Australia. We're seeing growing trends in Asian countries as well. France, the UK are very big for us as well. So you can see that we need to really think about how we do everything from the beginning to not make any mistakes. Simon Schemet and Kasper both have a lot of experience that are very relevant to what we're doing right now. Kasper, after building up the marketing in Momondo through the 3 acquisitions, after they were acquired by Kayak for 3.6 billion Danish kroner, Kasper joined as the Vice President of Performance Marketing in Kayak, where he was managing, if I'm not incorrect, the largest Scandinavian online marketing budget. A few of the shareholders in Nustay here before the IPO I would like to highlight. We have a lot of angel investors. There is a venture fund from Singapore that invested a couple of years ago, RB Investments. They have been doing a lot of co-investments in Asia with venture funds like Accel Partners from Silicon Valley. So it's just to say that besides having angels, we do have a venture fund as well. We also have Lars Seier Christensen, co-founder of Saxo Bank, invested early in 2016, and has been investing since then several times. Actually, most of our investors has been investing in every single round we had after they invested the first time. I have invested myself in the pre-subscription. Lars Seier and several other investors have as well, at the same terms like everyone else, except that we're locked up. So the future, what will it bring? As you heard, we have spent 4.5 years building up the platform, building up the supply. We have today the hotel supply. We have spent 35 million Danish kroner to do this, which is not a lot of money considering that the product we have, the platform, is competing with Hotels.com and Expedia and Booking.com right next to them. They have spent a lot more building their platforms, I can tell you. Besides that, we have a very mature organization today. We are closing into 70 full-time employees. We have a 24/7 customer support team of more than 30 people sitting on phone and email and live chat today. And this is very important because it's actually a requirement for us to work together with companies like Expedia. We're buying inventory from Expedia as well, Priceline, Agoda, but also Google. They want to be sure that their users have a good experience when we're using their products. So yeah, the customer support is very important in hotel bookings. People have questions. It's usually expensive to book a hotel. People are saving up if it's vacations and so on. So there's a lot of questions. I can tell you the US, the Americans, they're calling a lot more than Scandinavians are calling us. And all of these things we have to adapt to, and we're doing that very fast. So the future will bring very aggressive growth. This is the phase we're in right now. We're in the growth phase. We have built the platform to be global. It's in 10 or 11 languages, right? I can't even remember because we're launching languages all the time. We're basically there everywhere right now. We just need more capital to really fuel the marketing. Even without the capital right now, we're still growing. February is, growing considerably compared to January as well. So the main focus will be our marketing. From the IPO, we will use the primary proceeds for marketing. We will, of course, focus as well on the platform development and the organization. We need to keep growing the customer support team. We need to keep developing the platform to be better and better and better. We need to get more and more supply as well, like hotels. For the company goals, just touch briefly on this. You can read about them in the brochure and the prospectus as well. I think that the most important here is that we will launch a loyalty program this year. You know that from hotels.com, if you're using that website. We're launching something similar. And a mobile app, of course. The reason we don't have a mobile app right now is because we wanted to be sure that our desktop that our computer website and the website on a phone browser was converting very highly before we started developing an app. And that's because developing an app and then changing it afterwards is messy. So it's better for us to nail the first version and then launch the app and make sure it's great. Besides that, within the first 12 months after the listing, it's a bit vague the way it's written. We will have a handle revenue above 40 million Danish kroner within a short time period. It will be a short time period. And a net revenue on 4 million and positive cash flow this year. In 2020, we will launch a B2B API for the hotels. Basically, we have so good prices that companies have contacted us and asked if they can get our prices. And this is companies that are bigger than us. That's quite interesting. Of course, we would like to make money on that as well, so we will launch a B2B hotel API where we're able to distribute our prices to other that we don't deem as a direct competitor. The most important from the financial goals in 2020 is the positive marketing contribution. This is what Kasper was talking about before. The tipping point where we make such a high handle revenue, we invest 100 kroner, we get 900 out from the investment. That means we can fuel ourselves. We don't need any capital. This is the case where a normal venture fund would say, you know, just take whatever you can get of money invested into marketing. The market is so big that there's no limit for how much we would be able to grow, having the right capital. So, summary. It's a disruptive new hotel hybrid booking concept. We have the lowest prices in the market, strong management, board of directors and investors. It's a very attractive market because it's huge and there's not really been any, how can I say, innovation in online hotel booking for a long time. The last innovation I can think of was Hotwire that launched in 2000, I think, or 2003. They were acquired by Expedia 3 years later for more than $600 million. We have very rare marketing partnerships, and these are very rare because a startup should not be able to market in these kind of selected places like Google Hotel Ads, Yandex Ads, Yahoo and Bing. But we can be there because we have a product that is just as good, if not better, than the big guys. We have proof of business, and we guarantee very aggressive growth. And again, I want to stress the fact that we're doing this IPO now with a pre-money valuation on around $18 million. But our product is fighting directly head-to-head with websites like Booking.com and Host.com, and we're winning in the auctions. All right? But those companies are huge, worth billions and billions of dollars. If we execute right the next many years, I'm just saying there's a long way to the market caps that they have. A lot of growth. So, I will give the floor again to Simon.
Hello? Is it on? Yeah, it's working now. Perfect. So a bit about the IPO itself. So if we look at the subscription period, it's active now and it's running towards March 5th. If we look at the amount to be raised, it's around 21 million Danish, approximately 30 million Swedish. Valuation is 110 million Danish pre-money. That's approximately 150 Swedish. We have had pre-subscription of above 50%, actually 56% of the issue, meaning 12 million Danish is pre-subscribed. We had to close the pre-subscription. First day of trading is supposed and planned to be the 22nd of March. And lock-up, and another important factor, is that all existing shareholders are locked up for 12 months with 90% of their holdings. So, and the share price would be 7.20 Danish kroner, close to 10 Swedish kroner. That was actually our presentation, so I think there's room for some Q&A now.
Hallå ja. Tack för det. Tack för det. Jag hoppas att ni har fått en